Hello students, welcome to first lecture of automata theory and also welcome to the present semester next semester. Okay, so in this semester this is one of your interesting subject. Automata theory subject is also known as automata theory and formal languages, study of computational models, study of computational languages of computer, mathematical models. So these are other names for the subject. In the first lecture, we are going to cover a brief description of the subject, introduction to the subject, why we need to study it. We are also going to cover the contents or course curriculum for the subject. We are also going to discuss about the books that we need to refer for this subject. So, starting with the subject, we are starting with a journal discussion for the subject. I'm sure you must have heard from your seniors or classmates that the subject is very tough and it's not so easy to crack the university exam for this subject. Many students also having backlogs for this subject. Yes, it's true, but the subject is not at all tough. The subject is not at all boring because the subject is totally logic based subject. It's not a theoretical subject. You need not to cram anything. The major portion of the subject is logic based. You have to practice question, you have to solve the problems, you have to solve the questions, and that's it. Okay, the theory portion just comprises of definitions, differences, and a little bit of applications and the theorems. So the logical portion is going to cover or going to play a major part in this subject. So you have to be regular and you have to be attentive for the subject. If you are as you have done languages like C++, data structure you have done. So so if you have that capability of logic building, then the subject is a cup of tea for you. Means this subject is very easy for you. If you have logic building, you can build the logic. The subject is very easy. But even if you are not logical, not at all interested for programming, so still you need not to worry about the subject if you are regular and attentive and um, at, and you are attending each and every lecture. So you are going to cover, you will not be able, you not be going to face any problem with the subject if you are regular, because these subject is logical but not so difficult. If you are regular, then you will be like learning with the tricks and the technique to solve the questions. We will be going to practice a lot of questions from the previous year question papers. So you will be trained enough to solve each and every question with tricks and methods. Okay, so starting with the subject, first of all, I think we should discuss about other automata other video lectures and content available for this subject. These subjects are no good for competitive exams, but those videos and contents are not according to your course curriculum. So you need to be uh, logical reasoning is yes required, but you need to practice the questions according to your curriculum, according to your you need to revise theory according to your curriculum, your syllabus, and your exam patterns. Okay, so we will be covering all those things in this subject. We will be covering extra questions as well, many practice questions for the sake of exams. So don't worry about that. Even if you have any of the doubt during the lecture, you found anything not understandable in the lecture, you can contact me for the same, and we will be surely having the doubt sessions. So you can take your doubts there, so there will be no issue for the doubts, or any will not be remain unsolved. Okay, so starting with the lecture, first of all, we are covering here the term automata. The term automata clearly shows the things that are automatic. For example, ATM machine, computers, laptops, washing machines, and the ticket generating machines, Xerox machines. These are examples of automata models because these are the automatic machines, not directly automatic machines. Means we need to we user need to provide input for the these machines. Suppose for an ATM machine, the ATM machine won't perform anything without the input or without user intervention. So user has to provide some input and the machine will perform accordingly. Suppose I have entered the selected the ocean withdrawal, then I have entered the amount to be withdrawal like 10,000, 50,000, anything. Then the ATM will respond accordingly and withdraw the machine money. Same way, the computer systems are also programmed like the same. They respond to the user input and generate the output. Suppose I have pressed the key from keyboard, I have pressed A, B, C or any key, the same will be displayed on the screen, same will be displayed on the computer. So these are the machines washing these are the automata models like washing machines, Xerox machines. In Xerox machine we are providing the input on the basis of numbers. Suppose I require 5 copies to be generated, then the machine will generate 5 Xerox copy of the document. And for a washing machine, I have set the timer for wash time as 10 minute, rinse counter as 3, and spin timer as 15 minute. Then the machine will perform accordingly, will wash the clothes for 10 minutes, spin the clothes for 15 minutes, and rinse timer will run for rinse process will run for 3 times, 4 times as I have selected. Same way, ticket machine will generate the ticket depending on the user input. If I have given 2, then the 2 tickets will be generated. If I have provided with 5 tickets, then the 5 input, then the machine will generate 5 tickets. So these machines we can say are providing automating functionality mechanism, but on the basis of present input. Okay, so here we are dealing with the abstract mathematical model of the machines, those machines which are performing any operation based on the user input, or they are generating any response based on the user input. Okay, so these two factors we have covered are user input and machine response. But the third thing that we need to consider here is the present state of the machine at which the machine is responding for a particular input. For example, suppose I have selected balance inquiry option for an ATM machine. Okay, so while the machine is busy with processing the balance or printing the balance slip, and meanwhile if the user provide another command to withdraw, the machine will not withdraw anything because the machine is in process of printing the balance slip. So the machine is not in that state to withdraw the money. So the machine will respond to the user input but at a particular state. Same way, our computer screen will print the commands or any key pressed by the user from keyboard. But if no such application is opened here, means no keyboard text editor is opened there on the screen, then even if the user press any of the key any number of time, nothing will be displayed over the screen because the machine is not in particular state to print anything on the screen. So here three things comes into the picture. First is a particular state of machine at which it receives the user input and responds accordingly. So these things we need to consider in this complete subject: present input, present state at which the machine is responding for that particular input. Next, why we study it. As we have already discussed, this model or this subject will provide a mathematical and abstract models of machine that is closest to the description of computer system, but these are not directly the computer system. So we are just dealing with mathematical and abstract model of machine. Abstract, I think abstract word is very much clear to you as you have studied C++ object oriented concepts. So we are not dealing with the unrequired details of machine. We are not dealing with any programming. Means any machine, if it's working, there must be some programming, there must be some programming involved in that, coding involved in that, logics are there, but we are not covering all those internal details of the machine, irrelevant details of the machine. We are just dealing with mathematical and abstract model of the machine. Okay, so these models will just show or present the present state, present input, and present output and output state of the machine at a particular time. Okay, so these will also help us to learn the formal computational language of machines. Means like we can talk with any of the language like Hindi, English, Punjabi, etc. So there is also a language for machine that machine understand. So by this formal computational model, by these formal languages, we are going to understand, we are going to learn the language of machine, how the machine can respond, how the machine can understand the input. These languages will be covered under this subject. And apart from these benefits, subjectual benefits, we this these subjects, these topics are also helpful for any of the competitive exams like GATE, NET, etc. So all these competitive exams are going to are having many of the automata questions. So a general model of computer we are going to discuss comprises of three basic units that we already have studied in first year, second year, that it comprises of input unit, processing unit, and output unit. At input unit, we are providing input to the machine, and depending on that input, the processing is done. The process input or the processed knowledge is known as the output. So we are getting output after processing of input. So for machine to perform at processing state, it must have some input. Okay, and for a machine to be at output state, it must have some processed output. So these states are depending on the previous states. In automata theory, we are not going to deal with units or parts, we have to deal with the states. So in terms of automata, we will be saying that at input state, the machine will take input, and at the processing state, machine will process the input, and after processing at the output state, machine will generate the required output. So these are the basic terms that we're going to discuss in this subject. So taking another model into consideration as simple login process model, we are very much familiar with this login process. We are doing it on daily basis. It comprises of initial state required to enter the password. So we will be at initial state until unless we enter a password, and initial state is depicted with an incoming arrow. If any of the state is having an incoming arrow, then that state is initial state, and a model can has only one initial state. Once we provide the output, we redirect it to the next state, but until unless we provide the password, we will be remaining at the same state, at the same initial state. After providing the password, we enter to the next state, and at that state the machine will check with the or match the password entered password with the stored password. If the password is incorrect, we are redirected back to the initial state because the user is supposed to enter the correct password only. Okay, after this, if the password is correct, we will be redirected to next state. That can be any inbox state, dashboard state, or any of the admin panel, client panel, or anything. And at the third state, being on the third state, if we select sign out or end of session, then we will again be redirected to the initial state. So after the third state, we are again redirected to the initial state. Again we can enter the password, or we can log into another account. So this process is repeated um, as many any number of times. So as we were talking about the logical questions, all the logic questions of the this subject of automata subject are comprises of these type of models having the transition. These incoming and outgoing arrows are known as transitions, and these circular images are showing states, representing particular states at a particular time. So all the models will be this model is basic for all the models. We have to deal with all these models. And the must thing required for this subject is mentally present in the lectures, mentally attention for the subject, so that you can understand it fully. Because the subject is linked, lectures are linked. Even if you miss any of the lecture, you won't be able to understand the next topic, because these all the topics are linked, and tricks on the method of each every question can be different. So be regular for the classes. And last, we are going to summarize a lecture as automata is used to describe the behavior of automatic machines mathematically. So we are not going into irrelevant details, we are just describing the mathematical model of the machine, any machine, in the form of states, inputs and output. So subject outline is here. What we are going to cover in this complete subject: different models are deterministic finite automata or DFAs, non-deterministic finite automata or NFAs, Millet and Murray machines. Next model are push-down automata or PDAs, and the last models are Turing machines. And Turing, except Turing machine, all the other models are just used for recognizing purpose. Means they are just giving acceptance or rejection as output. Acceptance or rejection. Okay, match or mismatch. These type of output they are going to generate. But Turing machine, it's are completely mathematical machines. It is it is also capable of doing computation and generating the output accordingly. So there are also variations and other models possible for the Turing machine that we will be discussing in fourth unit. Many of you must have heard about the word Turing. If you have watched the movie The Imitation Game, this movie was released in 2014, and it was based on the biography of great mathematician Mr. Alan Turing. This movie was based on the concept of can machines think. He was a British cryptanalyst who was who developed a machine that was able to decrypt German intelligence messages for the British government during the Second World War. These all messages were related with the next target of their attack, next ship they want to attack, next area they want to destroy. So during the Second World War, this machine helps the British government to save many people's life, as they were able to decrypt the messages before the attack. So to reward this great mathematician, the the greatest award in the field of computer science, like the Nobel Prize of Computing, is named as Turing Award. So this highest distinction in computer science award or Nobel Award is named as Turing Award in name of the great mathematician. So referenced book for the subject are Introduction to Automata Theory, Languages and Computation by John E. Hopcroft, Rajiv Matwani and Ullman. Second books that is your textbook, that your textbook is Introduction to Formal Languages, Automata Theory and Computation by Kamala Kritivasan, Rama R. Next book is Theory of Computation and Formal Languages by R.B. Patel and Premnath. Fourth book is Introduction to Languages and Theory of Computation by John C. Martin or J. C. Martin. Formal Languages and Automata Theory by C.K. Nagpal. So these books are your textbooks that we need to refer, but you need not to buy all of these books. For theoretical portion of first and second unit, mostly we will be covering from R.B. Patel from this third book. If you want, you can buy this book, by R.B. Patel. And for the third unit and fourth, second and fourth unit sections of PDA and Turing machine, we will be covering from the fourth book, that by John C. Martin, J. C. Martin. And practice questions can be done from C.K. Nagpal or any other book available or any other source. You can do practice questions from. And the fourth unit theory topics and the theorems will be covered from first two books. And apart from these five books, we can also practice from other books, like Adesh Kumar Pandey or Anand Sharma. These are also good books for the practice portions. But theory, but we are not going to refer these books for theory. Your textbooks, these mentioned textbooks will only be referred for the theory sections. Now we are done with the first lecture or first section. So next lecture will be covering formal model of finite automata, applications of finite automata and limitations of finite automata. And the third lecture will cover formal definition for these finite automata, like DFAs, NFA and practice questions for the same. For practice questions, we will be having the board sessions, so that every trick can be easily understandable to you, to all of you. And for theoretical section, we will be referring the PPTs part. Okay. So once again, I want to say that the subject is not difficult, not at all boring. So but it required a practice and a continuity, means you need to practice in continuation with the subject, with the syllabus coverage, so that you found no problem at the end. Some students think that they can clear the subject by and by the end of semester and during their preparatory leaves, but it's not going to work with automata subject, because it's the total logical portion. At the end you can learn the methods, but you cannot be able to practice all the methods. You will not be able to practice all the tricks. So please be regular with the lectures. If you miss any of the lecture, you can have your doubt in doubt sessions, so that you can continue with the further sections, further lectures. Okay, thank you for now and see you in next lecture. Bye.